watching a special series of Kochie's Business Builders where we're putting small business first. Time to move on to something a little different now and take a look into the operations of one of Australia's top relocation experts.
Hi, I'm Paul Leaf-Millam. I run the business here for Chess Moving Australia in Adelaide. Chess Moving Australia is a national Australian relocation company. It's fairly unique in its setup in that the people who own the business in each branch run the business in each branch. 9 individually owned companies join forces to rebrand in a single brand using the same software, same processes and procedures to become a national force. We deal a lot in corporate moving employees overseas to build submarines to many other areas, even from sequentially moving state library to sequentially moving state records. They're all big moves. We also do hotel fit-outs, a large volume of commercial work. But we also move mum and dad around the corner. So our areas of expertise are spread across many categories to ensure the business is extremely strong and viable.
When it comes to innovating and pivoting in a crisis, it's okay if you don't immediately know what to do. That's why Paul from Chess Moving decided to bring in the experts for some help. Greg Nicole, Capability and Performance Manager at Census Yellow, joins us now via Skype from Adelaide to share that advice. Greg, welcome to the program. Like all of us, COVID-19 hit Paul like a ton of bricks. He called you in for some help because you already had a relationship with the business, didn't you?
Yeah, hi David, thanks for that. Yeah, absolutely. We've been working with Chess since right back in the old days when it was just the Yellow Pages directory. These days, we're a full digital service provider, so we look after websites, SEM, SEO, digital display, social ads, and of course, we're Australia's #1 online directory. And companies like Paul and Chess, have evolved with us.
So what did you do to assess his situation?
Yeah, so look, I guess we looked at 3 things. So firstly, looking at the market and how the market had actually changed during COVID-19. Then looking at consumers and how they'd responded to that change. And then working with Paul and the Chess Group to pivot.
How exactly had the market changed?
Yeah, well, for Chess, it was a big change. Obviously, a big part of their business was international and interstate moves. So obviously, with the borders closed, that had locked out a lot of their business. So for them, it was a large change to the market.
So how did you help Chess innovate and pivot in that regard?
Did a lot of research and looked at what consumers were searching for at the moment and changed the focus of their business just for the COVID-19 period. So for them, it was residential moves within the state for each different state. And also an interesting thing came about where businesses, corporate businesses, were actually picking up their staff, their computer, their desk, and all their bits and pieces and relocating it back to their homes, to their home office. And hopefully in another 2-3 weeks or a month, we're picking it all back up again and taking it back to the offices.
What a smart idea. And then how did consumer needs change during the restriction?
Yeah, so from a consumer point of view, lots of confusion out there. Who's open, who's safe, what are people's policies around COVID-19? A really smart thing that Paul did was put a pop-up on his website when people first came in that answered a lot of those questions. And it's all about just making sure that the consumer feels confident, trusts the business that they're dealing with. Another thing that we actually helped him with, we wrote a blog around moving during COVID-19 with a whole heap of frequently asked questions that customers could also access when they're on his site as well.
And did you find that consumer search behaviours had pivoted also?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the blog that we wrote was off the back of some research where we actually noticed that people searching for things like moving during COVID-19 or moving house during coronavirus actually started spiking. So we wrote this blog to reflect that change in behaviour. And actually Google's picked up on that. So if you do a Google search now in most states for moving during COVID-19, Paul and Chess's blog, which was created by us, comes up on first page, which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Greg Nicole, thanks so much for sharing some of Yellow's solutions to Chess's situation and great tips for all of us to put into practice, I reckon.